All right, welcome back to another episode of Small Guys Podcast. Today we're doing Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. This might be one of the earliest recordings we've ever done. There's not even an audience score on Tomatoes yet.
Wow.
Many years after the reign of Caesar, a young ape goes on a journey that will lead him to question everything he's been taught about the past and make choices that will define a future for apes and humans alike. It's got
Don't
an
tell us. Don't tell.
83%.
I was hoping you would.
83% critic score. There's no audience score for you guys to copy, so good luck
Okay,
this
good.
time around.
For us to copy.
Yeah. But yeah, no audience score. This is the earliest we've ever done a movie. Actually, so I want to shout someone out. Wes Ball, he's the director of this film. He reached out to us. He's like, hey, big fan of Small Guys. I'm going to get you guys in to a theater near you and go see this movie early. And he said, shout out Brian.
So I do have a couple of questions, Josh, or just one. Did he also reach out to everyone that was in the packed theater with us?
Well, those are our listeners that we brought.
Okay,
with us,
okay.
That's what I was
All
going
right.
to say. So shout out to our listeners who came with us. I'm
Sure.
sick of people saying like hi to us during the movie, but whatever. We appreciate you guys for listening. So, anyways, what did you guys think of this movie? Andrew, you go first because you've never seen any of them, right?
Boom. Yeah. I take that back. I know when I told you guys I hadn't seen any of them. I definitely have seen something. Yeah, I definitely lied. No, I've seen something because like they were mentioning Caesar and stuff, and I knew what they were talking about. So I've seen one of them.
The Great Ruler from History?
Yes. Yeah.
Or were you thinking Little Caesar?
I'm thinking the pizza.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a different guy, I think.
Yeah, no. Overall thoughts on the movie, it was okay. It was okay. That's where I stand right now. I want you guys to get into the detail, but
what did you think of the look of it, though? What did you think of the characters?
So like the CGI and the like world building they were doing there, real beautiful. But like the plot of the actual movie,
that part was okay. That's what
that was the writing. The writing could have maybe used a little extra work. You can see that the money went to the art development that they had here because it was a good looking movie. But yeah, I don't know. It wasn't that deep for me.
Let me start off by saying I'm shocked that they reprised this series or this franchise. When they did the newest trilogy, Caesar in those three movies.
Caesar's trilogy,
it made sense. Like the old original movies, like that was a good idea, and then they realized, hey, we can make this even better. Mocap, CGI, all that. It's great storytelling. And then you get to this where, like I told you guys at the theater, I only saw one trailer, no idea what the plot was going to be about, and I'm kind of shocked like how they went along with it. Because they put you in, it's many generations after Caesar. Doesn't say how many years, like an exact amount. So you kind of just have to you just have to,
But that's how the apes would say it too.
I guess. But I mean, I get that it's in. I compared it to the first movie with Caesar. Was it Rise of the Planet of the Apes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rise, Dawn, and then War.
Rise, Dawn, War. Rise, it's literally Rise, but flipped. So now it's the apes planet. Apes, they rule it, and now they're learning just like humans did, like, Neanderthals, figuring out fire, figuring out guns, like, obviously like the end is hinting that they want to go to space and stuff like that. I just think it was kind of, like you said, Andrew, like it's like you can't get too involved. Like at that point, once you see, you're like, all right, now this is just a sci-fi, whatever, like don't put any extra thought into it.
Yeah,
I feel like this is maybe a series they could have left alone.
Yeah, I mean, because the newest trilogy was so good, Caesar's trilogy.
Yeah, I said this after the movie, and Sanch agreed. Shout out Sanch. I said that I do feel like that trilogy, the new one that we got, is up there with some of just the best trilogies out there ever. 100%. I'm not saying it's better than Lord of the Rings or anything like that, but it's up there in the conversation for sure. Because so Andrew, Matt Reeves, who did the Batman, did
Matt Rife,
Dawn.
like the comedian.
No, God no,
okay.
Nope. Matt Reeves.
All right,
he did Dawn of the Planet of the Apes and War of the Planet of the Apes, and I think those two. I think War. Here's my ranking: War's the best, then Dawn's right underneath, and then a little, and then Rise. I think Rise is still good, but I do 3, 2, 1. So
I don't know, man.
this
Rise when he says no, like that was crazy.
I know, and that no moment is amazing. And I was in theaters for it, and I've seen since Rise, I've seen them all in theaters. It was truly amazing, and I've seen that original trilogy numerous times. I have to say, I think Kingdom and Rise are pretty close for me. I have to see Kingdom again to see where it fits, but like I enjoyed Kingdom. I don't think it's as good as Dawn and War by any means, but I still think it was pretty good just from the story. For me, I enjoyed it. See, here's the thing: all these Planet of the Apes movies, Andrew, come down to um, how the apes and humans can live together and work together, and um, the battle between those two, and so that is kind of the plot in all these movies to a certain degree. But that's what was cool about Caesar's. He was raised by humans, so he had this different like philosophy than like most other apes do. So
Hmm.
I didn't think he was going to get mentioned at all in this movie. I didn't know how it was going to work, if like his bloodline was going to be in it, because I knew it was hundreds of years later, um, going into it from the trailer, but I didn't know anything else. And so we have a theory, or at least I did, that Noah is somewhat related to Caesar in a certain degree, I think, because I was trying to pay attention during the whole movie. It looked like Caesar was the only ape with blue eyes. He fixes that electric rod, which one of the humans we meet later on is really impressed with. So like he is somewhat smarter than most apes, which is a thing
So
Caesar was like. So
we could also say, with your theory here, maybe May is related to Caesar
May
because
is a
she
human.
has.
May is a
Well, I
human
mean,
being.
well, I'm taking your
Evolution? You
theory.
get into evolution with me?
I'm taking your theory and running with it.
Yeah,
Well,
but
but I mean, they made it like a huge plot in this movie that like in biblical terms, like Caesar's the new god to like these apes. Like his
Jesus
legacy is
Christ.
gonna go on. Yeah, he's basically
Yeah.
Jesus, and I guess that was a cool plot because I mean the apes obviously are more humanistic. I can't say as humans, but they're almost neck and neck. I'd say they're about equal at this point,
Well,
if
yeah,
not
Aiden,
apes being more superior.
to your point, Aiden, there's different tribes of apes,
Hmm.
and they all believe in like different things. So
Yeah.
it's like it is kind of like us
Hmm.
humans, like
Yeah, definitely.
different parts of the world to believe different things. So yeah, I thought that aspect was really cool in it, and that how like Caesar still has a very very
Followers.
small following. Yeah, even like this long after, I thought that was really cool.
Hmm.
That's a really cool aspect to put
And
in this movie, and
what
I
did you
wasn't
guys think
expecting
of
it.
the comedy aspect of this movie? Definitely higher than any of the three before, or how would you even consider the original ones?
I'm the Scrooge. I guess I didn't. I didn't. I thought this was stupid. I
Well,
didn't.
I mean, stupid in like a comical way. I'm saying like
Oh
that
yeah,
the apes are
there's.
like acting like the humans are the apes, and they're like
Oh
talking to
yeah, I
them
get what you're saying.
slowly, like they can't comprehend. But we obviously see it when they're like sitting down in a like a stampede, I guess you could call them, drinking the
Yeah,
water and stuff. Like those humans can't speak.
but that's what's cool about the original trilogy is these apes knew what humans were like in our time, and now these apes have no clue what humans used to be like back in the
Yeah.
day. So they do look at them like they're apes, really. And that's a really cool aspect of the movie that I now think back to it, it makes sense, but like I wasn't expecting it going into this movie, so I thought that was pretty
Yeah.
cool. What did you guys think of like the main ape, Noah? I think I mean he looks a lot like Caesar in my opinion. Aiden, can you back me up that you could see a world where he's related to him? And
Yeah,
maybe we'll
definitely.
figure it out. I don't know how,
But
but
yeah, I mean that's the thing is like now when I think of that, I think of the next two movies in this trilogy if we get them, which I'm assuming we will.
yeah,
Obviously the ending hints that they want to like Noah is looking at the planets, and when he's in that shelter, he's looking at the Saturn and stuff that's hanging, and I mean, who knows what the jump could be from this movie to the next. But I'm just thinking like I think it'd be funnier in a comical sense that the next movie or the third movie in this trilogy, the apes are wearing lab coats and they're doctors and they're building a society. They're
I don't
driving
know if
like
I
stuff
can
like
watch
that.
that.
But
Apes
that's
on
what
the
I don't.
moon.
Yeah,
well,
but I don't think that that's the route that they're gonna go. Which they could,
well,
and it would be like, all right, now this is just
They
blown out of
probably
proportion.
will.
okay. So
Yeah.
the 1968 version, which is the original Planet of the Apes, is one of my favorites. they are mainly like humans. They do wear clothing. They, act like in their society. They live in actual buildings. Like that's what it is. And so in Rise of the Planet of the Apes, when things kick off, you see a shuttle go to space, and that's the shuttle from the 1968 version. So in the 1968 version, Andrew, these astronauts land on Earth. They don't know it's Earth. They think they've landed on a different planet. Hundreds of centuries later, and there's apes everywhere, and they're treated like animals. They're getting caught, stuff like that. Anyway, spoiler alert for this almost 60-year-old movie. They end up finding the Statue of Liberty at the end of the movie, realizing they are on planet Earth. And so it's a really cool twist, and it's one of the most famous twists in any movie out there. But I think they're almost setting that up to happen because they do tease it in Rise. So they could get to the point where at the end of this trilogy, they're there. Because you hear Noah say that they want to rebuild their civilization similar to the way the humans did in that bunker.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
So they could be teasing that. I don't know. Or setting that up.
I won't watch that.
So will you go see a sequel to this?
If you force me to be on this
Will
podcast.
you watch...
Go
Okay.
see it.
Will you watch the new trilogy?
By choice?
Yeah.
No.
What do you mean the new
We just
trilogy?
said
The
we
Caesar
just said it's
trilogy?
one. Yeah, the Caesar trilogy. We just said the Caesar trilogy is one of the best trilogies out there for movies, and it doesn't persuade you to go watch it at all.
This trilogy just doesn't resonate with me.
It's not. This is a whole new movie.
Yeah, this
it's
is
not part of the
nothing
trilogy.
compared to the-
Okay,
This is nothing
these-
compared to the Caesar trilogy.
These
That's what I'm
movies,
saying.
these movies just don't do it for me. Similar to how like you aren't ever gonna watch the Transformers movies.
Those are ass.
Josh is just a fucking hater.
I'm not a hater. Those are ass.
You're being a hater to Planet of the Apes.
I think I might be. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it, but
From
Okay.
my word, it's a great trilogy, and I think that
Okay.
this movie, as good as it looks, as fun as it was to watch, it doesn't even compare to any of those three movies.
okay, then that's all I needed to hear. Then yes, I'll give him a shot.
It's close to Rise. I don't know. It's close to
No.
Rise. I didn't think this was that bad.
It is
All right,
close,
Angie.
but I mean, it's basically Rise, but just flipped. It's a flipped.
A little bit. I don't know.
It is.
Nah.
But that's the other thing too, is you got to
Aiden
take.
piqued my interest.
It's
at
not like
least.
Rise.
Well, no, you're gonna watch those three movies and be like, "Wow, this movie wasn't good," and that's how I feel. Like, I mean, it was good. Like I said, it was fun to watch, but I'm not involved as much as I was during that Caesar trilogy. And then
Gotcha.
you go and you look at the end of this movie, you see that, like I said, the apes want to rebuild civilization like the humans did in the past, and then you still have humans that are, they have labs, they have decontamination zones. Like they're gonna get. I guess maybe that's another thing is that virus is going around where humans can, turn to mutes just like apes were. So it's reverse genetics. But you see that they're communicating to Fort Wayne, Indiana. They get in comms with them. So, I mean, I think that in the sequel or the third movie in this newest trilogy, we could see a whole nother war again. Or maybe at the end of the third, humans and apes coexist, which would be a good send off. And then that just makes you thinking like, oh shit, like can't imagine a world. And then we'll get Rise of the Apes that rose before
That's
Planet
risen
of the Apes.
before.
Yeah, the fucking even longer title than this one.
But see,
You
the
got
problem
two
is
of these.
there's always apes out there that don't like humans or don't trust them or can't live with them. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I don't even know what they'd call the next one. Were you guys shocked when William H. Macy showed up? I was happy to see him, but I did not think he'd be in this.
Frank Gallagher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know he was. He was. in the
No,
movie.
that's hilarious, dude. And that's what made me laugh every time he came on. And he was good, and he only had a quick part. I feel like they could have made his story a little bit better because she's kind of like faulting him for siding with the apes, but they don't really say like what is he doing for them?
I think
Teaching
so.
them?
He makes the rods and their weaponry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's how he like benefits and gets his own room and stuff
I guess,
like that.
but also my other thing is how come the guns disappeared after all those years?
Well, I don't think they knew how to make like ammo and make new guns for like when they jam or when they just rust out or whatever.
Yeah, but you would think
maybe
that, I mean, with this being like a fallout shelter, which was cool,
Yeah.
how come they're not like scavenging housing or houses and stuff like that? I mean, I
They
guess
might.
there's no buildings, even like New York. I don't know where the setting was. Maybe
It was
California.
It was L.A. I only know
Yeah.
that because they had the that structure from the LA airport, and I only know that structure from GTA 5.
So how did zebras migrate there? Do you think out of zoos or something, and then they just
100%.
mate or something?
Yeah.
I was thinking that during the movie.
Yeah,
You see
no, I
zebras.
mean, and even
quite a few.
And I mean, you see everything's overgrown too, so they can like I'm sure some of the oceans might be dried up or something like that. So who knows? They could just migrate from all over. But 100% the zoos play a factor.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
But I mean, it's kind of weird that we only saw zebras.
Yeah.
In eagles
and birds. A lot of birds.
Yeah,
they didn't have the budget for elephants and tigers and
but
bears.
There could be tribes though out there with different weaponry.
What I was thinking when they were fighting, like when the apes were kind of fighting the clan there, the gorilla, were they kind of his one big guy was like a gorilla, right?
Yeah.
That they should have got bears. Bears would be cooler. That's my input.
Taming bears.
Yeah, bears are sweet. That's my input. Clip that.
But that's the other thing too is like apes being as advanced as they are, they're still not on the top. Like humans are top of the food chain. Like we can kill any animal. But then like apes, they don't have guns. Like they have staffs and they're in packs. You would think that they would still be hunted by other animals, let alone not other apes and humans.
They're pretty smart. Like in the animal kingdom, I think like they're up there.
Yeah, but
if you take out animals,
they're still prey to some predators.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess, but I mean, then again,
because they're not that smart too.
Who's not smart?
If apes were as smart as humans were, they could be very dangerous.
But I mean, you go to a zoo and you look at nature, like humans or apes are the closest thing to humans.
Yeah.
And then a dolphin's like got almost a similar brain to like human anatomy.
Intellect. Yeah.
But how the hell do they measure that?
I know Sanch said this is his favorite character, so I'll shout him out. Raka, which probably was one of my favorite characters.
The orangutans are always the best. Maurice, all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They always kill them off.
Yeah, and so it's Peter Mackin that plays him. Dude, he talked and he sounded like Lawrence he did Fishburne. At first I thought it was Lawrence Fishburne. I kept trying to think like what actor is this? It's throwing me through a loop, but like I haven't really seen anything else he's in. I guess he plays a little bit of he's in Family Guy in the newer seasons. He is also in Shameless, so maybe that, and then he's in Dexter. So those are the three things I've seen. But yeah, besides that, I didn't know really. I wasn't familiar with his game, unfortunately, but I thought he was really good in this movie. Too.
I think all the voice actors did well. And you got to think like most of those like the main characters, they were all mocap. So like Andy Serkis played Caesar, moving around, crawling around, doing all that shit. Like I'm excited to see like some behind the scenes.
They did it with Gollum too.
Yep.
Andrew, give us some reasons why you didn't like it, and then we'll kind of give you our thoughts on it.
Well, I'm gonna just go off the bat and say that he hasn't seen the Caesar trilogy.
So
yeah, but that isn't a huge part of the movie, though.
Okay, so
you'd have a higher appreciation. Go ahead.
That aside, I thought it was too long and dragged out.
Okay, do you think like the beginning or the whole movie?
The whole movie, like
really,
literally Act 1, 2, and 3. I would say I got most interested when they introduced the orangutan, Raka. That's when I would say it was at peak interest. Like the beginning story there, I felt like it was kind of like cookie cutter bullshit. Like we knew the father was going to die. I kind of had the mom lined up to die too. I was surprised she didn't. I was like, mom and dad.
Going.
Yeah. I was like, they should both die. That way he has his coming of age story and levels up and becomes, one with the birds. We got that in the end with the birds. Mom made it through. Mom was going to watch her son get his ass kicked, though.
Dude, that was crazy to me that all those apes being in the same tribe didn't even like try fighting back until
it's an alpha thing, dude. Second. It's an alpha thing.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. They're trying to be. They consider themselves humans at this point.
If Cody tried to beat you up, Josh, and we were all there, we would actually. Yeah, we'd probably let it happen.
You'd watch because you got to see who the alpha is. And once I kick Cody's ass, you guys are really like, oh, I feel bad for Cody, but.
TikToker is party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get what you mean, Andrew, to a certain degree. I think maybe the very beginning was a little bit slower for me, but I think once to your point, once we meet Rock, I think the rest of the movie flows really well, in my opinion. Um,
I
I,
also felt like the whole. I think the first like half of the movie we're kind of waiting for like, okay, what is this new clan like? Why are they burning down villages? What is going on here? And there's never really a reason for that. He wants to have a kingdom? Like,
Well,
what's the
that's where I
reason?
was shocked because it
What's
was
his
like
reason?
when that gorilla's going around on horseback, like when you see him riding with the mask, they say for Caesar. We're like, all right, that didn't make sense because Caesar. Obviously, it's like
Even
everyone
Raka,
was
like
shocked because, but
he
even
calls
that,
that out. He's like,
yeah,
that's not what Caesar's for.
no, exactly. So then you're like, oh shit, like maybe they're twisting Caesar's words, but no, it's what is it, Proximus Caesar? I think that's his name.
yes.
Yeah, Proximus Caesar, and that's just more like I don't know, not even a cultist, I would say, but just like
He's more so just taking the
Roman
Caesar
Caesar.
name to be like a king, but none
Yeah,
of his like
exactly.
core values or principles that were actually like Caesar.
No, he
So,
just wants to get access to that vault. That was his only goal,
and
and he
that's why
was
he's burning
enslaving other
down.
apes.
That's why he's
Well,
enslaving other
well,
apes.
no, he was burning down there so then he could force them to work for him and open the vault. Because all those other apes that were in that camp were all
Yeah,
other tribes that he took
he's
over, and then
you
he
see
just
where the
enslaved
plot
them.
is kind of garbage
Yeah,
as you
it
say it
is.
out loud. Yeah,
But see, but me personally,
Josh, back it
this
up,
movie,
defend it,
no,
defend it.
this movie it piqued my interest directly at the part where they open up the vault doors. Like when they get in the vault, that's where I was like, all right, this is good.
I
All that
agree.
stuff
I
before, and
got
that's the last 30 minutes, which
I got a
sucks
little
because
bit
it's like
more
too.
interested when they get into the vault because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, okay, could there still be some humans in there? Is there
Yep.
something else going on? That like last 10 minutes, I was really interested. Like,
Yeah.
what is May doing? What is she? She has this hard drive. Like, I was truly curious as to what was going on there. But I think like this whole movie is around this wannabe king wanting to open the vault to then go do what? Go kill more people? Like he can already kill people.
Well,
There's no
his
one
thing
really.
is he wanted to advance the ape civilization, bringing in firepower.
Giving
You
himself more
know,
power.
giving himself more power because he's not gonna obviously live eternity. So he
Fair.
knows that he's mortal and he needs to get as much power as he can before he dies.
Yeah, and that's the main reason why they're destroying these camps and enslaving these apes is to force them to work for them to get that vault open and just be slaves pretty much. And they're also searching for that human girl who they know is smart enough to talk and might know how to get in the vault. That's the whole reason why they're looking for her.
Yeah, his thing is very small. Like he has one goal is to open up that vault.
Well, and you can see that he like was like he killed off May's whole camp of people, and his like whole
Which was an accident, he said.
yeah, which his like recollection with that was just like oopsies, shouldn't have done that. They could have probably opened my vault. Like you, that's a pretty big foresight on your part. Maybe
Yeah.
should have waited before
He wasn't there. He just summoned them to go do it, okay?
Hey, maybe that's one that maybe the boss gets involved with. Hey, they look pretty civilized.
I like that conversation with her. He's like, that was just an oopsie on our end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't mean for that to happen.
I think my favorite scene was when Noah and that silverback are like, he drowns him, and he's
Yeah,
like
that
going
scene
through
was
the pipes.
cool.
Like that was sick. That was awesome. It
And
looks
you
so
guys-
realistic.
At what point did you guys think like, oh, Noah's gonna drown here and the silverback's gonna make it out?
Nah, I never had that.
I know. I'm
'cause he's the
sorry.
main
I'm just
character.
being an. I know plot armor. No, but it did look really good. It did look really good there. I will give you that. Like the CGI in that scene, like that looked
Insane.
that looked real. It did
Yeah.
look real.
Like,
They did a good job.
and that's the thing. Like watching this movie, not going like I said, that plot. I didn't put too much thought into anything after that. At that point, I'm just watching a movie. I'm enjoying it, and like, dude, those apes look fucking real, man. Like,
Yeah.
Rocca
I
looked
get it.
really good. Very
Yeah.
good. I'll be
oh,
honest.
yeah,
Like
dude, like
I have to give it
everything.
some
Even when they're
props
wet,
there.
all their like hairs going like slicking back
Yeah.
and stuff. Like, I don't know, man.
Well, too, like the whole world, like you said it earlier, Aiden, is like overgrown, and it almost reminded me like of an Outlast in a way.
Yeah.
Like I think the way they did that kind of nailed the
Oh yeah,
world
definitely.
too, for sure. So I thought that looked really good. Even the birds look good. Honestly, they didn't look
Yeah.
bad either.
No,
For CGI wise, you can't really pick at it for anything.
nothing in that.
We've seen.
Do we know was any of it practical, like
I'm
props?
assuming
or
like those final shots of them in like the desert and like the plane wherever she was. I'm assuming that was practical.
Well, Andrew, the actors, the way they like move, because they have these big rods to move like apes, and then they have like these dots all over. It's crazy to watch, especially when Andy Serkis does it. I'm sure you've probably seen clips of it, Aiden. It's crazy to watch.
I think I've seen some clips of
insane.
that.
Yeah,
and that's why I want to see the behind the scenes for this movie.
Yeah,
it just makes you appreciate it more.
Well, yeah, and especially with him because he's just a seasoned pro. Like,
yep.
You can see their emotions on their face, and then too when they start talking in this movie at the very beginning of the movie, they're talking like perfect English. Where it's like in most of the Caesar trilogy, besides Caesar, most of them have like really broken English. They're still like learning to speak. They're
still doing sign and all that.
Yeah, most of them sign, which you see a little bit in this movie as well. But yeah, just watching them speak like complete humans is crazy to watch.
No.
With that CGI.
One thing, I mean, I don't want to spoil the Caesar trilogy for Andrew, but we were laughing after the movie that you can literally blame human or Earth destruction or apes taking over all on James Franco.
Apenheimer, I've seen on Twitter.
Yeah, Apenheimer, that's what they're calling him. And it's just hilarious to think like where we are now from like that movie, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, and like it's just insane.
Yeah, because Andrew, Rise is like coronavirus on steroids with like ape intentions, whatever. Like it spreads around the whole world. Like, it's crazy.
James Franco, I mean, just a synopsis, I guess you could call it. James Franco's dad has dementia, and he's using an ape to like cure dementia. So basically that, and then
he messes up.
Yeah, he goes Doc Ock or fucking Willem Dafoe and lets out this shit to the entire world.
So a lot of humans die just from the illness, and then they also forget how to speak. Like they don't know how to speak, they get dumber. And so that's why in this movie, seeing a few different humans that speak complete fluent English and are smart is kind of surreal to see, especially after how many years it's been since the outbreak.
And I definitely like that origin story better than, all right, hey, apes already established, humans already established, like that. Like that's what gave that trilogy like a definite plot.
Well, even in the 68 version, you do see like a Caesar.
Yeah.
That's hinted at. So that's what was so cool about him getting his own. Like,
and just look at those, like, dude, there are people dressed up as apes. Like, it just, this looks insane. Like, you got to give it to him.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that was, like I said, that was almost 60 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to think. But, yeah, I guess, what did you guys think of the way this ended? I know we kind of hit on it a little bit. I don't think they're hinting going to space, but I could be wrong.
Apes in Space is the next
What would happen in space? First one to the moon? Is it a moon race? Does Russia get involved?
Russian apes, maybe.
I think they rush, like, in the sequel, and especially, like, the final, like, the finale of this trilogy. Like, they're going to jump fucking way ahead.
Think so?
Yeah.
So it won't be a trilogy based around Noah and that tribe.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Noah could possibly we could get a meetup, and he meets up with the next Noah or whoever. Like each clan has like Caesar can't be the smartest ape. He was the original ape. That's why he was the smartest. And then like Noah's just like, I don't know, like you said, a plot. He's got plot armor.
Yeah. So Andrew, they tested on Caesar's mom. And so Caesar was the first natural born ape with, the genetics to be smart and everything. So he had blue eyes, and that's why they used to call him Blue Eyes. So that's why it's so important in this movie that Noah has blue eyes, and his dad had it. So I'm just assuming he's part of the bloodline, and I don't know if they're going to hit on that in the next movie. And I don't know how they would. I don't know if they have 23andMe around.
They might.
Rise of the Caesars of the Apes. That's another title.
And they open a little Caesars inside a Caesars casino. And
they only eat Caesar dressing.
All right. Well, we can get to scores. You guys are ruining Planet of the Apes, and
we're not ruining it.
You
we're
are
making it better.
Yeah,
we're giving them.
Clip that.
A good.
This is the earliest
We're giving them
movie.
a great idea.
This is the earliest movie review where we're doing it right when it comes out, and people are going to listen to this. Everyone's going to listen to this because they want to know our opinions, and they're going to think it's just about Little Caesars and that.
Well, what's going to grab people's attention when you make some clips here after this? It's when you throw up Caesar's dressing, Little Caesars, Caesar's Palace.
See, that's the thing is, it's 3 of us that have seen it, and 2 of us are making jokes. So you get 100 people. That's about
1,000.
That's 2/3, so it'd be like 66.
Yeah, 66.
67.
66 people out of 100 that have seen this movie are going to have the same ideas as us. They're gonna like that.
No, because they love this franchise, and you guys are just shitting on it. That's okay.
Okay.
I understand.
Yeah, let's give them the scores.
But yeah, Andrew, you go ahead.
Okay, cool. Like
Don't
I said,
shit on it.
I'm not. No. Great movie.
5 out of 100 for.
Don't. That's not fair.
That's cruel.
It's 6 something now.
Yeah.
We did see it in IMAX too. We should say, and it looked great in IMAX.
It looked great in IMAX, and it was a great looking movie. But here comes the but. You knew the but was coming. Like I said, the plot weak. Where's the plot at? Writers, come on. I could have written this with AI. Yeah, it's a movie, and with that said, it's getting.
Don't say that.
You know where that's going.
It's definitely more than a movie. I call it a film.
61. 61 out
What?
of 100.
Are you kidding me?
Swear to God. 61 out of
horrible,
100. And I stand by that, by the fact that it is too long. It should have been a 2-hour movie, not a 2-hour and 40-minute movie. There was so much just random, here, look at the earth. I don't care. I truly don't care. Keep the movie flowing. So much of that. Too predictable. I was never caught off guard.
Be honest, do you think you would have enjoyed it more if you'd seen the trilogy first?
No. I think if the trilogy is how Aiden describes,
I don't believe you.
I would have hated this
Aiden
more.
says the trilogy's great.
That's my point.
But I'm saying it's better than this.
He's saying it's better than this, so I think this would have made. Now my expectations would have been high. I went into this with no expectations. If I see that old trilogy and I like it, shit, this might be a 16 instead of a 61. You wanted me on here.
Go ahead.
I can go. I think 81 out of 100 for me. As much as I love this franchise and the ideas of it, I mean, I already stated all my reasons before, but I don't think anything's touching that Caesar trilogy. Maybe, I mean, we get 2 more movies of this. Maybe it could top it, but like I said, the plot was more distinguished in the original trilogy. Gave you a sense and a reason to watch them. This one is kind of just feeding off of that. So, it's an unneeded remake, but it's going to be good. I enjoyed it. CGI is just getting better and better. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see what they do. They could take 2 routes. They could either go way in the future or they can take off right off of that. I don't think that Noah's going to be the Caesar of this trilogy. I just think that he's not important enough. Because, I mean, you got to think that he just did one little thing there. I mean, maybe he could be the one that sends them to space, but, I mean, they need to build buildings before they can go to space. Unless they find a rocket, that's just, and they repair it. But, I mean, that's not a plot of a movie. And, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, who knows? They could go to space and there could be apes up there for all we know. But yeah. I doubt that. But, yeah, I think 81 out of 100 is solid for me.
I'm looking at reviews from like actual critics, I guess, on Rotten Tomatoes, and one person just put, "I couldn't wait for it to be over." I gave it a 3 out of 10.
3
and that's fucked up.
That's hard.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
He must have just had a shit.
That was me. I just posted my review.
Her name's Rachel Wagner.
Yeah, she for sure.
From RachelReviews.net. Sorry to expose you.
Her stomach messed up.
Yeah, I'm about to write her and be like, "Fuck you," and yeah. Because she probably hasn't seen any of the other movies either. I'm going to go with an 86. I somewhat agree with what Aiden said about the original trilogy, although I think it is close for me on Rise. I don't know what score you'd roughly give Rise, Aiden, off the top of your head, just depending on how... Okay. 80s, though? It's still top 80s?
Yeah, definitely.
It's not 90s, right?
I think it's my favorite out of the 3.
Really?
Yeah, just because seeing Caesar go from like a baby chimp to, a full grown ape towards the end, I
But
like it.
even in the last movie, he evolves a lot more. From
Yeah, but
where.
then he's old and you know that he's gonna do his thing.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I enjoyed the movie from where they took the original trilogy. I don't think I had the expectations that it'd be better than like the Matt Reeves movies, but I did have high expectations going into it. I don't know if they're exactly met, but I still did have a good time. I didn't think it was that long. Could have pushed 3 hours for me. I love seeing those apes and what they do. Um, and it had a lot of cool moments. It didn't really have like that no moment like the first like Rise did, but it does have these like I thought the part where May's running up to the log where they're in and she's getting chased by the gorilla, and Noah goes by and like swipes and picks her up. I thought that scene was sick. And even like the explosion with all the water coming in, I thought there's a lot of cool moments in this movie. But yeah, it did. I understand where Andrew's coming from about it dragging a tad, maybe at the very, very beginning. But it's still very interesting to see what that world looks like now that Caesar's gone and after a couple centuries, just to see what the world looks like, too. It is that the middle ground from like Rise to 1968's Planet of the Apes, seeing it evolve into that. So, um, yeah, I really enjoy this movie. Uh, nice try, Andrew, trying to bring me down. You can't do that. And
I'll
I
do
can't
my
wait. I
best.
cannot wait for the next one. And I hope if our boy, our director Wes Ball, makes the next one, that he invites us again because we appreciated him inviting us to go see this movie.
Yeah, maybe he
And
includes popcorn this time.
yeah, that was a little fucked up, but he still got us in there, and I appreciate him for that. And so, yeah, that was our Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Was she gonna shoot him at the end? By the way,
She was thinking about it.
I was hoping, please just put him down.
No, that was crazy because he got kind of lippy with her, but not enough to where like he was a threat.
Okay, here's my prediction in the episode. This is the next movie.
Yep.
We still follow Noah and his tribe.
Okay.
May and the humans decide to attack the apes, and they go to war.
Probably.
Yeah, but the May's like group, they were more like scientists. Like we didn't.
Yeah,
see
but
any,
that Iowa or the Idaho, whatever the fuck group might come.
Indiana.
And Indiana.
Fort Wayne.
I almost got it right.
Yeah, but
they show
migrate. Up. I don't know.
They could have a military though. I don't know. I don't know what's
true,
up
but
with
maybe
them.
they go and they try to make a cure for the apes and go back.
Maybe, yeah.
Like
and then like Noah's torn. He's like, "Do I kill May?" But Caesar wouldn't want me to, and
But
and then one of the scientists is like, "Yo, bro, you're Caesar's like great grandson."
But you also have to think that once the apes get superpowers, and they have the Ape Avengers and something like that, like that's when we could go.
I like this.
You never know. They get a Superman ape.
All right. Well, I think we're doing. All right. You stop. You're upsetting me.
Another
I think
cloning
we're doing,
apes.
All right. I think we're doing.
We're making it better, dude.
No, you're not.
I need to go to fucking Hollywood. Fuck am I doing?
Oh God, you would ruin the franchise.
We need
you would ruin the franchise.
No,
get him there, please.
Please, someone just give me a one-way ticket to fucking Cali.
No,
I'm pumping movies out.
Thank you guys for listening. I think we're doing Fall Guy next week. I think that's the plan. It's also in the 80s for Rotten. We don't trust Rotten though completely. I will say that, but
you do like to mention them a lot.
You do. Sometimes you would think they were paying us, but they're not.
Yeah,
not yet.
Me personally, fuck Rotten.
Yeah,
I have
unless
no
they want to pay us.
affiliation with Rotten.
What if they want to pay us?
And I've never met one person that works for Rotten.
We'll cut this out just in case. We'll cut this out just in case Ron wants to pay us. But yeah, no, I think that's the plan. And then obviously in June we got a ton of good shows. And from this point on, we're getting good shit. I think Furiosa is right around the corner.
Shows are gonna be good. I think we try to take one of these new like shows that are coming out because like The Boys this next season is gonna be insane, crazier
House
than any
of the
of the other
Dragon,
ones before.
Bear,
House of the
season
Dragon.
3.
I think that we're gonna try doing a weekly episode. See how that works.
We might.
down
Yeah,
to
we're-
that.
It might be a short one. Might just hit YouTube.
No, nothing. Yeah, but I mean, even if we just push it out, I think that's. I say we try it.
Yeah, and then we won't score it until the end of the season.
We'll meet up at the headquarters this weekend, and
Yeah, we'll
Okay.
meet up at the. Okay. Thank you guys for
get
listening.
catering.
We'll see you guys next time. Go see this
See you
movie.
Yep. Peace out.